Good. Thank you, Frank, and thank you to the ERG for the invitation to this really special celebration and a big happy birthday. The mayor stole my invitation to clap. But as Frank said, I mean, I get flashback coming into this building. I feel like I'm going into an exam, or that, and some, very distinguished and slightly intimidating professor might ask me about the mechanism of glomerular tubular feedback or something of that sort. So having said that, the institution was good enough to give me an honorary fellowship, so I had to do no work for that particular degree, so I'm very grateful to that. So it's mixed feelings, but mainly a real honor to be here. I'm a clinician scientist, as Frank said. My journey, as you can probably tell from my accent, I am Irish. I'm a graduate of UCD in Dublin, and my journey was specialization at the University of Toronto, most of my research career in Harvard Medical School in Boston, Vice Chancellor at Bristol, and indeed my alma mater before that, and all of that is preparation for this fantastic opportunity. It was really interesting to hear the mayor talk about what we might have seen 100, 200 years ago. And it brought back to me a memory. I remember cycling from, those of you who know Dublin, medical school in the city centre, and I lived at the time in Dalkey, out on the tip of Dublin Bay. And certainly in the late 70s and early 80s, in the winter, because of the smoke from coal, it was very difficult to breathe, and you certainly couldn't see very well. So you could see the pollutants at that time. And it was interesting, Ireland had several key interventions in the area of public health. One is being one of the first countries to ban smoke-full coal. And that smog literally disappeared within a year or two. And the health effects associated with, thankfully, also diminished. Taxing plastic bags. And again, that was visible indeed, because if you went outside any supermarket, you could see these bags actually would get blown away and caught up in trees. So, what you couldn't see within the body, you could certainly see the surrogate marker for in the trees. And the third, of course, as the mayor mentioned, was cigarettes. And I certainly remember as a student, anytime you went to a pub in Ireland, you had to wash your clothes the next day. But of course, you couldn't wash your lungs out. So really interesting for the mayor to point out, the challenges of dealing with what you can't see being so more significant than the challenges of dealing with what you can see. And that's why, of course, your work is just so incredibly important. As Frank said, one of the first visits that I had to going around visiting departments and centres and institutes within Imperial was to the ERG, and I do remember that fire alarm. But the speed dating, I must say, was, not that I've done speed dating, but if I had, this was undoubtedly the most inspiring speed dating that I would have ever encountered. It really brought to life, for me, what you do, and the way that you have partnered. Well, first, the quality of the academic research per se, the quality of the international collaborations. But what was most inspiring for me was actually the nature of the collaboration and the partnership, and as you said, the co-creation with citizens, with communities, with the Greater London Authority, with the mayor. And I can say this because I'm only in the job 9 months, and it's so obvious to me coming in, but you don't see that in other cities across the world. And even recently, I've had as we get back to nurturing our international collaborations, being in New York and Tokyo. And these are good guys, but certainly you get the sense that they are so far behind London in terms of the way they are addressing this issue, not that there isn't so much more work to do. So for me, part of the real excitement of coming to Imperial is to play some small part in facilitating your work and supporting your work. What a fantastic ambassador for London and for the appliance of science in our mayor, who has been inspiring this afternoon in terms of both his keynote and in terms of the Q&A. But of course, even more so, in terms of his leadership and his advocacy for improving air quality through really smart policy making. And this is a priority area for Imperial. Those of you who are in Imperial know that we really value discovery, blue skies research, but actually it's being in that privileged position to be able to use that research to make the world a better, safer, smarter, more sustainable, and more prosperous place is a real privilege that we have. So this area is a privilege, is a real priority for Imperial. Partnership is at the heart of our mission, and you absolutely exemplify that. The way that you're giving local communities access to affordable and reliable air quality data, you're empowering them to make it their own, is so impressive. London is undoubtedly at the forefront of policy developments to improve air quality in towns and cities. And it is, of course, all of us in academia are acutely aware of the journey that we're on and how much more there is to do. But I would certainly hope that you'd use today to celebrate your success and your contributions, because the leadership that London is providing, others are drawing inspiration from and following. So certainly as President of Imperial, I'm so proud of the ERG, so proud of the work that you're doing, the quality of the science, but also a really big thank you to all of you, whether Imperial or otherwise, who are not only doing great science, but are putting your head above the parapet in the public square to tell the stories that will bring the data, the importance of the data, and the need to act on the data, make it understandable to the citizens. Because without that storytelling and that effective communication, we're really, I suppose, walking on Velcro, so to speak. Just finally, I've looked at your program. I mean, I must say, as I looked at it, it was almost what the speed dating should have been. So what a fantastic program. I really look forward to hearing of the outcome of your deliberations. But as the mayor said, I mean, if he was standing between you and a fantastic drinks reception, I'm now in fear and trepidation here. So just a few final words. One, a really huge congratulations, happy 30th birthday to ERG, and congratulations on all that you've done. But what's even more exciting for me is the ambition that you have. Secondly, to all of our guests here from across the world, with whom I know many of our colleagues are collaborating, the challenges that we've been discussing today can only be addressed if there's a global collaborative approach that ignores, or at least manages, geopolitics and manages to bring that global community together to solve these really challenging problems. A big thank you to the Royal College of Physicians for hosting this event. I look forward to hearing about the outcomes of your deliberations and the plans in more detail. A final congratulations to you, Frank, for your leadership. I'm going to embarrass you now just for a second. But certainly what I saw during that visit and in subsequent visits to the ERG is these things don't happen without a conductor of the orchestra, without a chef who can bring the ingredients together and create something really special. And you've done that. You have, as we've seen just today, put your head above the parapet and been willing to take the shots that go with that. It can be a nasty place to be at times, but it's that type of commitment and leadership that is so valuable, and without which our collaborative and collective research won't have the impact that we need to make the world a better and healthier place. So many thanks, and back to you, sir.